Fans across the Southland get simultaneous battles for LA. If the Rams truly decide to F them picks, it won't be for Christian McCaffery. And we might have an idea as to why the Chargers benched J.C. Jackson. Good morning, I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is faithful Angelenos. I am in Chateau Methmont, somewhere in Southern California. Forgot my baseball cap, so please enjoy my thinning hairline. But if you like the content that we put out about LA sports, hey, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yes, comment. Why not? We had rivalry matchups all over the place. It was awesome. So before we get into the news and notes from around LA, we'll take a quick look at the scoreboard. Yesterday, Christian Arango scored the game-winning goal in stoppage time as El Tráfico went to MLS Cup playoffs. LAFC 3, Galaxy 2. We have a recap of that match that's both on the LAFC and Galaxy playlist. In addition to that, Paul George scores 15 points, 6 Clippers scored in double figures, and the Clippers hold off the Lakers 103-97. Lonnie Walker, of all people, scored 26 points to lead the Lakes. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh 6, Kings 1. The Kings' 3-game winning streak goes the way of the dodo. Cal Peterson, he got chased from the net. 2 starts for him, 2 bad starts. So not exactly a good sign for him starting off the year. There are no games, by the way, scheduled today for LA teams. I want to start off, though, even though I was more interested in El Tráfico, I want to start off, however, with the Lakers-Clippers game because, unfortunately, even though it's a lesser rivalry, you just can't escape from pointless Lakers drama. See, before the game, Coach Darvin Ham had to have both a meeting and a press conference. And this is the inevitable result of Russell Westbrook saying something so unbelievably stupid as coming off the bench injured his hamstring. Have you ever heard of that ever before in the history of any sport? I've been racking my brain. I've never heard it before. And I was talking about it on yesterday's clip, how I believe that this is Russell Westbrook trying to hype up pointless drama so that he doesn't have to be a reserve. Because it's his ego talking, right? Oh, over on the other bench with the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, he's a 2-time Finals MVP. He's coming back from an injury, had no problem whatsoever coming off the bench. Didn't complain about it. Matter of fact, he managed to come off the bench without injuring himself, much like the thousands upon thousands of NBA players throughout basketball history. To my knowledge, Russell Westbrook is literally the first to claim coming off the bench led to an injury. So Darvin Ham had to have a meeting, and then he had to face the press and said, let me be clear with this. The Lakers, myself, my staff, we would in no way, shape, or form put a player or an employee in harm's way, physically, mentally, spiritually. We don't stand for it. That is not who we are. End quote. Now keep in mind, Darvin Ham was only about to coach his second full NBA game. And he has to put up with this crap. Now I want to give you an idea of why I'm so upset with this. One of the reasons is that for many years, I was an unapologetic Russell Westbrook supporter. Absolutely. Because I had seen the guy take over game after game after game. He was terrific back in the day. But this, if you're going to cause drama, you need to bring the goods, pal. If you're Magic Johnson, you can cause drama and bring the goods. If you're Kobe, if you're Shaquille O'Neal, you can cause mess and bring the goods. Dennis Rodman with the Bulls. Phil Jackson didn't care if he was riding around on a horse butt naked as long as Rodman came in and pulled in his 15 rebounds. So after all that drama, Russell Westbrook goes 0 for 11 from the field in 27 minutes. Slow clap. Well done, Russ. I was telling people not to call you Westbrook because it wasn't fair. Apparently, I'm wrong. Totally wrong. By the way, Kawhi Leonard off the bench, 14 points. Russell Westbrook starting, 2 free throws. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, James, that sounds like crap for the Lakers. That sounds like a raw deal. What can the Lakers do? Maybe they should make a trade. Not yet. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting the Lakers will wait until after Thanksgiving to consider any trades. And there's a reason for it, which makes a little bit of sense. The reason being is that they were hoping that other teams are going to learn really quickly if they need to start tanking games to get a better lottery pick. And then maybe, just maybe, those other teams will trade their players for a lesser amount than what they were demanding of the Lakers beforehand. So I'm happy about that because at least maybe we'll get rid of all this pointless clickbait gossip crap about proposed trades with the Lakers for about 30 seconds at least. San Francisco took Christian McCaffery off of the Rams' wish list for trades. San Francisco sent 4 picks to Carolina to get the All-Pro running back. None of the picks, by the way, in the first round. You might recall that Carolina was insistent that they would get at least a couple of first-rounders out of McCaffery. It didn't happen. I think they were trying to see if they could jack up the price and try and get the Rams involved and try to see if the Rams would overpay. It didn't happen. San Francisco overpaid, but they do get a damn fine running back in the process. So you might be saying, well, what is LA's next step? And I've been talking for the last few days about the possibility of looking internally to solve roster problems. For example, do you really want to flush the rest of your salary cap on Odell Beckham Jr. when you have Van Jefferson coming off of an injury? And in running back, granted you no longer have Cam Akers, but you do have 5th round draft pick Kyren Williams. Now he broke his foot during the offseason, had surgery on it, came back, was on special teams in the season opener and turned an ankle. Sean McVay, though, says Williams is, quote, making good progress, unquote. Now, the reason I'm hyping Williams up so much as a possibility in the future is he rushed for back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for Notre Dame. So he's not exactly a slouch there. J.C. Jackson of the Chargers was benched during Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos. And it became a little ugly. Jackson wasn't being a jerk about it. He wasn't blaming the coaches or the players, but he was saying that now his confidence is shaking. And because of that, I was wondering if it was the right move. As it turns out, it probably was. Here's why. I'd love to go to the tape, but I'm too cheap. I can't afford tape. I can only draw it out on a sheet of paper to give you an idea. Denver scored 10 points in the first half, and you could credit all 10 of those points to breakdowns specifically to J.C. Jackson. They scored a touchdown in the first quarter. Here was the coverage, and I'm going to have to explain to it. I know a lot of you know football terminology. I want people to understand who don't. It was nickel to cover 3. What is nickel? It's 5 defensive backs. What is cover 3? Basically, from 10 yards past the line of scrimmage, 3 defensive backs are going to slice the field into thirds, a left side, a middle, and a right side. This was J.C. Jackson's responsibility here. So what did Denver do to try to get that touchdown? They put 2 receivers up against Jackson's zone and forced him to make a decision, and he made the wrong one. As you can see, there was a wide receiver who went out and cut in. J.C. Jackson had played man defense for New England Patriots for the few years that he'd been in. The Patriots play man, Chargers play zone. Zone is not Jackson's strong suit. So when this wide receiver breaks in, Jackson, in my opinion, is thinking like a man coverage thing, like he would play in New England. So he followed the receiver to the middle. Not the right call. Receivers going to the middle would have been this defensive back's responsibility. So the tight end, while JC is running in the middle, hooks out, he's completely wide open. And Greg Dulcich, the UCLA grad, gets his first NFL touchdown. Later on in the first half, Denver got a field goal. They were helped out by a breakdown, unfortunately, against Jackson in cover 4. So again, Just like cover 3 takes 3 defensive backs and splits the field into thirds, you take 4 defensive backs and split them into fourths. And once again, Denver put 2 receivers against Jackson, and he had to think. He had to make a decision. The wide receiver just ran straight at him, full speed. And Jackson saw the tight end coming out, and he was sitting there going, who do I take? In that split second of indecision, the wide receiver ran right past him and got the reception for the 25-yard gain. Now, the thing about playing zone, you need reps, so you don't have to think. There are many things that you do in life where you don't have to think. This is not calling Jackson stupid. It's saying you comb your hair without thinking about it, for example. J.C. Jackson needs to learn how to play zone without thinking about it. And the only way that that's going to happen is with reps, and that includes practice. Recall, Jackson missed time this season because he was injured and had ankle surgery. He's missed the reps that he needed. So hopefully he'll get that back over the next upcoming weeks. An NIL collective for USC, known as Student Body Right, has been shut down. Now, USC didn't want this NIL collective to exist because USC created their own version of an NIL collective. And the reason they wanted their own version was they wanted to make sure the players got paid, for one. But if they controlled their collective, they would know that they were always in NCAA compliance. An outside one, like Student Body Right, USC wouldn't know if Student Body Right was complying with NCAA rules. USC would get penalized if Student Body Right accidentally broke the rules. But that's off the table now. And the reason is because Student Body Right's founder, Dale Resch, has passed away. Now, Resch died on September 26th, and I don't have an exact cause of death. He was a longtime booster for the Trojans, so they liked him. They just didn't like Student Body Right. And I don't know the cause of death, and it's not fair to speculate on something like that. Edge rusher Laiatu Leitu, and if I've mispronounced his name, I apologize to the guy. He was named to the mid-season All-America team for UCLA. Now, for the record, I think a mid-season All-America team is a pathetic garbage idea by sports writers who can't find a way to dig out actual news stories. So they make something up, like a mid-season All-America team. Do we have mid-season MVPs in baseball? Of course not. But Leitu, you got to give the guy credit. He's been absolutely phenomenal for the Bruins. He has 6.5 sacks. That's second in the nation. So bully for him for getting credit. You got to at least appreciate that. Now, the LA Kings, we mentioned earlier that they lost last night. ESPN created a list of the top 100 players in the NHL, and they split it 51 to 100, and then a day later they released their top 50. The LA Kings have 4 players ranked from 56 to 100. That's Anze Kopitar, Adrian Kempe, Drew Doughty, and Kevin Fiala. There were none, however, in the top 56. Now, what does that tell you? Let me know what you think in the comments thread. And besides, before you think that ESPN is an outlier that doesn't know anything about hockey, keep in mind, the Hockey News also created a list of their top 50 players in the NHL. There were no Kings on that list. So you tell me what you think about that. The Athletic decided to do a redraft, and did the Kings really do as well as we thought? Well, they dropped Alex Turcotte, a Kings draft pick, from 5th to 29th. Quinton Byfield has sank from 2nd to 5th. Now, to be fair, Kings draft pick Arthur Kaliev has rocketed up from 33rd to 8th. So, I've got to wonder about the Kings' future prospects a little bit. But again, you let me know what you think in the comments thread, because we had an absolute ton of news to get to. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. Me and my thinning hairline will be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Cam Corte El Queso production. Take care.